وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، يروي الإمام البيهقي في شعب الإيمان عن فضالة بن عبيد رضي الله تعالى عنه وأرضاه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في حجة الوداع. Today's hadith, brothers and sisters, is narrated with an authentic chain of narration in the collection of Imam Bayhaqi. It's called Shu'ab al-Iman, and it's narrated in multiple collections, different collections, but this one's the most complete, and I will explain to you why I chose this specific narration. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned this in Khutbah al-Wada', and those who do Hajjat al-Wada', which we all know what that is, but it's the last, for those who don't know, it's the last time the Prophet ﷺ addressed the nation. Basically, there is more than 12,000 people, and they heard him in Mecca. It was during the Hajj season, and this is what this companion is narrating, remembering what the Prophet ﷺ. Of course, it's a longer, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's a longer khutbah, but this is what this Sahabi is narrating. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ألا أخبركم بالمؤمن. Would you like me to tell you about the believer? This is what the Prophet is asking. It's a rhetorical question, because he answered the question right away. He said, المؤمن من أمنه الناس بأموالهم وأنفسهم. The believer is that who is entrusted by others with their wealth and their selves, and their families and well-being, all that. And والمسلم من سلم الناس من لسانه ويده. And Muslim is someone who people feel safe around him and are protected from his tongue, which is what he says, and from his hand, from his actions. والمجاهد من جاهد نفسه في طاعة الله. And mujahid, the person, the word mujahid, it becomes an expression today. But it means, it has a linguistic meaning. It means to persevere, to put your maximum effort into something. Is the person who puts his most effort in the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in satisfaction of Allah. والمهاجر من هجر الخطايا والذنوب. And muhajir, this term, is the person who stays away from sins and mistakes. Now, this is the linguistic translation of this hadith, but there's a couple of things I would like to talk about. If you put this hadith in perspective, this was in few months before the passing of the Prophet ﷺ. It's really one of the last events, the last few months of his life. And he is summarizing Hajjat al-Wada'. Every time you read the sermon, the khutbah of Hajjat al-Wada', it's a summary of what Islam is about. At this point, 23 years later, a lot has changed. The geography, the society of the Arabian Peninsula, the area has changed. The religion has changed. The mentality, the culture, everything has changed. So there are a lot of things that have changed after that. So the Prophet here in this hadith is basically summarizing. I mean, in the khutbah, summarizing what Islam is about. Now here he mentions four expressions: mu'min, Muslim, muhajir, and mujahid, and muhajir. And these are terms that have adopted, after Islam, adopted new meanings. Because the word mu'min before Islam means, iman means to believe in you, right? You tell me something, I say, what did they, وَمَا أَنْتَ بِمُؤْمِنٍ لَنَا وَلَوْ كُنَّا صَادِقِينَ in Surah Yusuf. This is what the term they used, that you're not going to believe us even if we were telling the truth, right? After Islam, it became an expression for someone who has adopted this new faith at the time. And Muslim is the same thing. Islam means total submission, right? It means submission. But after Islam, this became an expression, a description of someone who adopts this religion. Mujahid is the same thing. This beautiful word that has taken very bad reputation and it's been reduced to the physical aspect of it, right? It's basically this. Jahada is when you put your maximum effort to do something, to achieve something, right? And after Islam, it took a different meaning. And the same thing with muhajir. Muhajir is a description of someone who actually migrated from Mecca to Medina. And after Fatih, that's it. There's no more hijrah, right? Before that, it was just when you to hajir, it means just to leave your country to a different country. So the Prophet ﷺ is trying to take these expressions back to their original meaning, to remind you that Iman, Islam, and Jihad and Hijrah, these, yes, they have taken a new meaning, but do not forget that they have a deeper meaning, an original meaning. That Iman is not only the appearance, the external confession of Iman, and that's it. There's something deeper than that. With Islam, the same thing. So mu'min, okay, this person is mu'min, but if people don't feel safe around him, there's a problem with his Iman. As Sheikh Adnan multiple times said, Iman is also action. It's not only faith and that's it. And this is actually the meaning that it took after Islam. Before that, it was just plain, it was to believe in someone. But now it became much deeper than that. And the same thing is Islam. And the Prophet ﷺ is using the same verb from Al-Islam man salima. It's the same material, because it's trying to, that way you remember it, because there is similar in the pronunciation. And jihad is the same thing. Mujahid, you want to be mujahid, is mainly the person who actually puts all their effort in the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, every aspect of life. Every aspect of life. And the muhajir is the same thing. So this hadith, I feel it's very famous. We all know it. We've all heard it multiple times. But I feel the Prophet ﷺ is trying to take you from the external and the common meaning that these words have adopted to the original, deeper meaning of these words. And I'm connecting this with last week's Khaterah, that when you work on your heart, right? So this is it, basically. The external, I mean, people can disagree with me, but I feel like a lot of our problems is because we focus a lot on the external aspect of religion, the external aspect of Islam, which is beautiful. There's no problem. There's absolutely no issue with it. But without it is like a void, a hollow religion without the working on the inside, on the heart. And now I firmly believe that we don't all need to be scholars in terms of knowledge and all that, because this was never required. Not even the Sahaba are all scholars, like Ibn Mas'ud and Anas bin Malik and Abu Hurairah. They were not all scholars, but they definitely knew how to work on their hearts, on the inside. You want to change? I'm an optimistic person in nature, and I think there's a beautiful awareness. Every week there's at least 2 or 3 people accept Islam, and they say when the winds of hope, when you feel it, just set your sails, right? And that's exactly what we should do. It's not enough, I believe, that we only look in a certain way. I think we have to behave it. You will never be able to reform externally without being reformed from the inside. Your heart is where you should work on it. And just you can never tell someone, and you'd be surprised. It's an exercise. Don't be surprised. Look at your heart and see if you feel that if you're satisfied with yourself. I would think again. I think it's very difficult to be 100% satisfied with, because there are, like, we take an example, lying, for instance. We all know no sane person, no community says lying is good, ever, right? Even non-religious people think lying is bad. Okay, you say, yeah, I don't lie. Okay, have you ever filled an application, and when they say how many years of experience you have, and you only have 3, and you put 7? I don't know. Have you? Well, it's a white lie, right? Okay, but you have the ability to do it, right? How can you teach your children, our children, right? Don't lie when it's the ability, it's the acceptance, it's the trivialization of it. It became something like that. And lying that's just one. Take all these diseases of the heart and dig deep. We need to work on it. Dig deep. You'll be surprised what you find. Your ego, your nafs will always deceive you. They say never be happy with your ego, with your nafs. Never be happy. It'll deceive you until the day you die. Keep on deceiving you, telling you you're doing great. Just keep doing what you're fine. You don't have to improve at all. Because if you don't improve, it's gonna go the other way. I do apologize for taking too long. يروي الإمام البيهقي في شعب الإيمان بسند صحيح عن فضالة بن عبيد رضي الله تعالى عنه وارضاه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في حجة الوداع: ألا أخبركم بالمؤمن؟ المؤمن من أمنه الناس على أموالهم وأنفسهم، والمسلم من سلم الناس من لسانه ويده، والمجاهد من جاهد نفسه في طاعة الله، والمهاجر من هجر الخطايا والذنوب. وصلى الله على حبيبنا وسيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.